So let's summarize this lesson. Our objective was to make sure that you could solve by inverses. Have you achieved that objective? Can you solve by inverses? Well, how do you know when to solve by inverses? How do you know to do that rather than doing quadratic formula or factoring? If the equation is in standard form, for example, if you had something like 54 equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 27, you could subtract 54 from both sides, and then you would have 0 equals 2x squared minus 3x minus 111. I'm kidding. 81. That's in standard form. You've got an A, B, and a C value, so you could solve by quadratic formula or you could solve by factoring. Here, if the equation has only one x or x squared that you see, for example, let's say that you had 0 equals negative 3x squared plus 27. That has one x squared term. Or let's say that you had, negative 4 equals the quantity x minus 12 squared minus 10. There is one x here that you see. It will be an x squared, but there's only one of them that you see. You don't see two x terms the way you do in standard form. So in either one of these cases, you would solve by inverses. When you solve by inverses, you are going to isolate the squared portion. The inverse of the exponent of 2 is to square root. And make sure when you use that square root property, you write two roots, one positive and one negative. Then you solve for x both times and you should be done, except for when you can't solve, because you get the square root of a negative number. If you try to go to square root a negative number, that means that you have no real solutions. Square rooting a negative is impossible in our real number system. And if you have no real solutions, that means that you have no x-intercepts.